Good afternoon, everybody. You are listening and watching 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. I want to get a program note out there real fast before I forget. The boys Bombardiers, of course, Attleboro High School, they are playing right now, tip-off. If you go to the AACS YouTube page, you can see the whole game in its entirety, followed by the girls' game. They look to tip off at 1:45 from Attleboro High School. The boys' hockey program, they don't play till 8 o'clock p.m. over at Pirelli Veterans Arena, but that's not till February 3rd, and they will host Franklin. And I forgot to say, what a knucklehead. So the boys are going to play the boys are going to play King Philip, which is underway right about now. And the girls will play King Philip. So that's the schedule, up-to-date stats. I have Nick Lockovich, the sports master. What's going on, baby? Justin Ferreira, the sports master. And I got to turn mine down because I get too hot. We are waiting for Cheryl Seavey. We actually covered her game on our Facebook, 4 Deep Sports Talk Facebook page. And we had the privilege and the historical chance, I guess, to watch this all happen.
The 100th win, yeah.
The 100th win. Mm-hmm. So that was, Nick and I were out there with the rest of the 4 Deep Sports Talk crew. Scott Belotis filling in, Catherine Flaherty, Alex Mayo was doing all the stuff, and you and I were trying to make it sound interesting.
Yeah, trying to make it sound good.
You were making it sound good. I was trying to get out of your way.
Working on the commentary there.
Yeah, exactly. So, congratulations to Cheryl. Hopefully she'll call in a second here. I know she'll call in right around 12 past 5. And I'm waiting for that light to go off. And then followed by her around 20 past the hour, depending on, how this plays out. We're going to have Ty Callie. He is filling in for Danny McDougall from Taunton High School. Ty is on her way. Ty Callie, he is on his way to Wheaton College. We were going to try to do a double whammy and have Joe Mulhern, of course, everyone remembers Taunton High School at a Division I boys baseball, reigning South Sectional state champions. But Danny plays on the basketball team, so they're having practice right now. And with that being said, I believe this should be Cheryl Seavey, if I did it right.
You did. How are you doing, sir?
How are you, young lady? Sir, wow, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It is good to hear your voice, Coach. That was such a fun game to call in the historic meaning of that game. Your 100th win, Coach. I can't remember. That's pretty good. 100 wins in only 8 years coaching girls varsity. Between here, BR, and Middleborough. Congratulations.
Thank you. Like I always say, Dominic, it's when you do something you love, it's like you never work in a day. And I do love what I do. I love coaching. I love being part of these young ladies' lives, and to have a group of young ladies that we have at Bridgewater Rainham, and even going back to the Middleborough days. I still stay in contact with so many of them because the connections you make are that special.
Oh, absolutely. So I have Nick Lockovich, who you'll probably remember his voice. He does the games this year with me, and the sports master Justin Ferreira. And I know Jay has a couple of questions he wants to dive in with you. And thank you for taking the Saturday so late notice, Cheryl. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. Like I said, we appreciate all you do to promote the young ladies and young men in our area. So absolutely my pleasure.
All right, Cheryl, this is Justin, and my first question for you is, has it psyched you out that you have won 100 games in 8 years?
Has it synced in yet?
No, it's completely surreal. First of all, because it seems like this time has gone by so fast from that first moment that, I'm eternally grateful for David Paling, who is the AD, who gave a 25-year-old wet behind the ears, never coached a day in her life, kid an opportunity to take on a varsity program. And I'm eternally thankful for those kids on that team. And now those kids are young adults and they're raising children of their own. So it's been quite the journey, when I first started out to where we are now. And it's going to take a while to sink in and to really understand how truly special this moment was. And like I say, it's all about the kids. You know, I haven't shot a meaningful shot since I graduated from college in 1993. The kids are the ones that put the hard work in day out in practice and then perform in the games.
Okay. And my second question is, who is it that motivates you when it comes to coaching girls basketball?
You know, I was very, very fortunate to have so many tremendous role models in my life. And I think it goes back to one of my very first coaches was my dad. My dad was a Navy veteran. Never had the opportunity through life's experiences to be able to play sports. He had to work from the first time he was 7 years old. He used to tell me he worked in a fish market. So he never got a chance to play sports because his family couldn't afford to. So my dad coached me for the first time when I was a 7-year-old kid playing soccer. And I still remember those moments of him coaching me and just, you know, really being persistent about work ethic and doing your best and enjoying the moment. And then moving into high school, I was lucky to have, you know, the legendary Jerry Cuniff, who, you know, instilled so many other values and, you know, really talked about persistence and perseverance and, you know, work ethic and always diving on the ball for loose balls, no matter what the score was, boxing out and just the way he saw the game. And then moving forward from Jerry, I had another legendary coach in Paula Sullivan who, you know, over 800 wins in her collegiate career. The way Paula sees the game and having the opportunity to sit with her and game plan and talk about, you know, who does what on the opposition and what we're going to do. And then just how she created that culture of sisterhood. So, like I said, I've been very, very fortunate to have so many role models in my life that I take little bits of each of those learning experiences and try to merge into who I am as a coach. You know, I'm very thankful for all of them because, again, without them and the experiences and life lessons they taught me, because I think truly sport is truly about life lessons, I wouldn't be here today.
So my question to you is, with Coach Cuniff and the other young lady you mentioned, I should have wrote it down, but I'm still half asleep.
No, Paula Sullivan.
Paula Sullivan, thank you.
Still is my mentor.
Awesome. So what's the biggest thing out of all that stuff you mentioned you try to instill in these girls today? The biggest thing that comes to mind?
You know, there's, like I say, sports is such a great teacher about life lessons. You know, so you out of all of them you talk, I love the idea that, you know, if you want something, that you have to work for it. That, you know, nothing in this life is given, and if you have a goal, you need to be able to put in the effort in order to accomplish the goal, whether it be in sports or in your career or academics. Another big life lesson is loyalty. If Paula Sullivan called me up today or Jerry kind of called me up today and said, hey, Cheryl, I need you to do something for me, I would drop whatever I had and I would be there for them. Because even to this day in my playing career ended many moons ago, I am still so loyal to those coaches. And the amount of kids that I coached, like I said, way back in the Middleborough team, or the amount of kids that I coached early in my tenure at Bridgewater Rainham, even right up to the future now, that have reached out and said, hey, congratulations, Coach. You know, thank you for instilling some life lessons through the course of my career there, and how thankful they are for those lessons.
There you go. I figure the first lesson would be don't pick up dirty gum. Right?
Well, maybe. That's something I cover in kindergarten. I got that in kindergarten.
I was just trying to lighten the mood for a second there because you mentioned.
That's all right. Because, you know, I've taught kindergarten for 26 years, so
yeah.
I can incorporate kindergarten life lessons as well, believe me.
Oh, that's funny.
That must be a big change-up. And I was just wondering, you have this is Nick here. You have a really talented team, and as far as your feeder pool, like your JV team, your freshman team, your middle school programs, how do you keep that many talented players in your system? Because you have 3 or 4 extremely talented players in your team.
Right. Well, like that, I think it does. It starts with the feeder programs. In Bridgewater and Rainham's youth leagues and how they are preparing those kids with the focus on fundamentals, with the focus on self-improvement, that comes to fruition when they hit the high school. when they hit the high school level and they're at the freshman program or the JV program, and then we can take additional steps to modify what they've given us. But it truly does start at those youth leagues, and kudos to all of those coaches that from Bridgewater and Rainham that do all of that hard work. I'm sure when those players get to the high school level and they see the success that the teams have, I'm sure that's gratifying for them. But we really appreciate all the hard work that they do. And like that, Coach Gallagher, I mean, especially, last year's team. Last year we basically replaced, we had 3 starters come back, but we replaced our entire team from the JV program. And that doesn't happen if he doesn't put in the time at the JV level, or if the time isn't put in at the freshman level. And I think that's a big part of our success, is how we have this feeder program consistently providing us with kids who are ready to play at the next level.
Now, one of my favorite players on the JV we're going to, first of all, I want people to know we're going to be there. We should be there, 98% sure we're going to be ready to do depending on the snowstorm coming in, because I know the boys' basketball.
Nor'easter on Tuesday.
Yeah, so the boys' basketball game might get. Did you hear it? Shh! Don't say it.
Don't jinx it.
We've been pushed to Wednesday. I'm not sure if you know that.
No, I had no idea.
Wednesday.
I had
Girls
no.
have been pushed to Wednesday.
So no Friday.
Nope. Well, we will be there for our home game on Friday. Yes, that'll be senior night versus Fian. Yes, but we're on the road Wednesday versus New Bedford, and then we're home on Friday. So let's keep our fingers crossed, because we deserve to have a senior night for a tremendous class of young ladies.
Right. We're hoping to set that up special to you on the coverage too. We're going to try to get the mic on the mic you can speak into, or whoever's going to do whoever's going to be the MC there, for the girls. We want to make sure we get the audio right and the girls get well recognized, and then get a little, fix it all up for them, hopefully. So when they get introduced, they'll know who it is. But anyway, to get to one of my favorite players on the JV team is this little spark plug you have, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Benaz.
Sela. Yep, Sela.
Yeah, how do you say her last name? Is it Benaz? Benaz?
Yep.
Benaz, I think. Because Scott Belotis always reminds me.
We try our best to up in the stand, but it doesn't always go well.
Right, and I try to get out of Nick's way, make sure we call a good game. But I saw that you called her up last night in a very competitive Brockton game. And I thought she held her own. She is all over the court. She is a diamond in the rough that has, she has the ability. She could be, if she watches Kenzie, to be the next, close to, with her ability, the next Kenzie Madalanas in that feeder system.
Right. And like that, there's just so many kids on that JV level that just get an opportunity to practice against the varsity kids each day.
Yeah.
And to see them improving consistently, because you have to remember, our JV team is, 80% freshmen. We have 3 sophomores, but that's it, because with all of this COVID craziness, we weren't able to have a freshman team, a really specific freshman team in the SEC this year. So a lot of those freshmen have merged right into the JV team, and they're competing every day.
Right.
And you're right, competing against kids of the caliber of Kenzie or Bella or Fiona or Talia or, Amber in practice every day only makes those kids, as they're coming up, better.
Absolutely.
Because they're seeing what it takes to play at the next level. And like I tell them, you're going to take your lumps. You're going to take your lumps, but keep your head up, keep learning, accept it, and just move on. And that's what they're doing.
Absolutely. Coach, we are going to take our first break. Can we hold on to you for a little bit after the break?
Not a problem. I'm here. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll step away. You're watching and listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the news station, 1320 AM WARA, and online on our 4 Deep Sports Talk link to watching us live on Saturday. We have the privilege of having Cheryl Seavey from Bridgewater and girls basketball. Last night, she reached a milestone, her 100th win. We'll be back with her and more right after this.
If you are sick and interacting with others sick at home. Masks should not be worn by children under age 2, anyone who has trouble breathing, or anyone who can't take off the mask without help from another person. To learn more, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. You sit down at your table, you get your card. 25 squares hold the key. Which one will it be? I-25, O72, or Lucky B13? Which one will be the square that makes you jump up and shout, Bingo! The Attleboro Elks Lodge 1014 hosts Bingo each Sunday at 887 South Main Street. Open to the public, the kitchen opens at 5 p.m. with a variety of food available. Bingo starts at 6 p.m. Prizes are awarded and proceeds support Elks charities. For further details, you can visit AttleboroElks.org or you can call 508-222-5502. Remember, Elks care, Elks share.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice the 16-year-old boy who got his first job?
That's for spending money, but to help feed his little sisters.
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner. Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity not to make friends but just to get something to eat. Or a retiree who fell ill and had to
Choose between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to 40 Sports Talk. We are going to continue highlighting Bridgewater Rain girls basketball coach Cheryl. Cheryl, are you still with us?
I am, yes.
Awesome. So when did you know that I'm gonna guess you had no idea about those beautiful balloons and the ceremony and Coach Cuniff being, well, he's always there because he bleeds red and white. But
He does, definitely.
did you that was a great little ceremony they had at the end.
You know what? I had no idea. I'll be honest with you. You know, I just laser focused on game prep and what I need to do to make sure that our teams are ready to compete. So having 100 didn't even cross my radar screen.
Right.
You know, because, you know, I always have that mentality of the next game is the biggest game. And, you know, I was so laser focused on what we needed to do in order to defeat, you know, Brockton. It's such an important league game for us. So, yeah, I know the kids were always astonishing me. They're just such a, you know, caring and considerate team. So, yeah, they shocked me for sure.
All right, Cheryl. So, first of all, I want to thank you very much for taking the time coming on today. We have to go to our next interview. We're trying to wing it and put it back together, and I can't thank you and Jim, and especially Jim with the stats. And I'll definitely see you on your home game on Friday night, and wish you all the best in the playoffs.
Hey, thank you very much. And like I said, I appreciate you guys and all that you do to promote the sport that we love and to promote our young ladies. And you know, you streaming the games allows our families in this crazy time to see these young ladies compete. So I appreciate your support very much, and I appreciate you for having me on.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you. Good luck on Wednesday and Friday.
Very best. Thank you as well.
Thank you. And that is head coach Cheryl Seavey. And we're going to wait. That was really cool. She got on give us some time. And
good timing, too, with the 100th win and everything.
Oh, it's
right
exactly. Perfect timing.
Almost like we knew what we were doing.
Yeah, almost like we were waiting for it.
Right? It's funny how of course we know.
Yeah.
Okay.
We knew we showed up yesterday.
Right. It worked out perfect. It was awesome. So we are waiting now for Ty Callie from Taunton High School. Hopefully he'll call in. I know he said he was going to listen up. 508-222-1320. Excellent interview again. Jim Seavey, who he's the guy. If you ever hear us talk about stats, and especially we just touch on a brief, but to have that info down
Yeah.
there and use that during
They
the
have good
broadcast?
stats that are random. I've never seen people who take free throw percentage and 3-point percentage and the small stats into consideration, like fouls, free throw
Steals,
shot. Yep, everything. I see like the points, rebounds, assists you get,
Yeah.
but you don't always get those shooting percentages. So that was impressive just to see how detailed they are.
And to give Jim another pat in the back, and there are probably other schools that do it too. We just haven't unfortunate
We
enough
haven't
to,
seen it, yeah.
yeah, not yet, and I haven't seen it really, But I think this should be Ty Callie calling in. Let me make sure I get him on. And hi, you're next on 4 Deep Sports Talk. Is this Mr. Ty Callie?
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? See, he's just hanging in there. I just got him out of bed. And he's
Right on
still-
cue.
Right on cue. Ty.
No, I was actually waiting in the morning to call because they texted me late yesterday, and I was,
Yeah. He owes you a burger or something. Burger, at least like a Happy Meal or something.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, something. It was super late yesterday.
Well, that's a good friend. That's a good friend. First of all, I don't know if I said this last time I saw you, but we want to make sure we get a congrats. I know it seemed like it's been a long time since you guys won the state title, but congrats to you and the boys and just gelling at the right time and getting the deal done.
Yeah, that was crazy. Still doesn't feel real, and to be honest with you, I haven't picked up a metal bat since the state championship game.
Your father must be so mad at you.
Yeah. No. I've been hitting practicing with the travel team and stuff, but with travel, I only use wood bats, so I always find it funny that I haven't picked it up since then. But yeah, no, we gelled at the right time. We came in as an underdog, and all the games we had were close. We had a great defense, and at the beginning of the season, our offense kind of struggled, but we came together at the right time, and I kind of just fit into the mold and tried to make sure that I could continue on what happened when Danny got hurt. So that's kind of how I went through the playoffs. I was super nervous going into it, though. First varsity game was the entry-level playoff game.
Yeah, right? I mean, I can just imagine. So
Crazy start.
Right?
Get thrown into the fire right away.
Oh, yeah. And the funny part was when he looked to the sideline when Danny was hurt, he looked at me and then he looked at a kid that's been on the bubble the entire time. And I was like, there's no way he puts me in the game right now. There's no varsity experience all year besides like 2 innings of infield and no hitting.
Right.
And he looked at me and I was like, you're not going to put me in, are you?
Did you say that to him?
No. I didn't say it to him. I kind of just looked at him.
Oh,
But
that's
I
funny.
wanted him to. Obviously, I wanted him to put me in the game because I wanted my shot. I knew I wasn't going to give it up, and I knew I was going to take advantage of it because I knew I was ready.
Yeah.
But I was sweating buckets when I went in the first time. So,
That's all right. So let's educate some people, and this is great about our
sorry,
show.
you cut out. I can't hear you.
What? Say again. Can you hear me? Oh, I think he clapped. You must.
Oh,
be.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you said.
That's all right. Can you?
Yeah,
hear?
yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, good. So let's educate everybody about.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. So let's educate everybody about what position you play and a little bit more about this team going on this run.
So for the high school team, I played shortstop, but I play anywhere. I play outfield, at middle infield, corners. I can pitch a little bit, but for the state championship run, I was thrown into shortstop, which is what I played all year. For JV, I played shortstop, and then when I got called up, that's where I ended up having to play. And at the beginning, they wouldn't let me hit, which was understandable because I wasn't facing varsity pitching all year. But with the last 5 games, I came in and they'd let me hit, and I had one of the higher batting averages for the playoffs. So that took over pretty well.
Yeah, I guess you did fill in well.
Yeah, perfect timing.
I don't know if you guys want to go first or.
Yeah, I'll take one. So, are you a senior now, a junior? Like, are you at college next year? Is that a few years away?
No, I'm going into college next year.
So, you said you're going to Wheaton, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And are you playing baseball there, or are you just going there for the academics?
I'm going to play baseball, and I have the opportunity to run track, but I told the coach I was going to hold off on Well, I told her I was going to let her know if I was going to do it or not. She said I have a spot on the running team too. If I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to.
that brings me into my question, which is I just graduated from college and I tried to play tennis at college briefly, and it's just a lot of work. And I just want to know what you plan on doing, because there's times where you go to class from 8 to 12, you practice from 12 to 4, you eat lunch, then you have walkthrough, then you have training. It's 8 p.m. and you're exhausted. Just especially with the college lifestyle nowadays and the way people like to have a good time. How are you going to try to manage sports and school and your social life? Because I knew a lot of people first few years of college where their life was school and sports, and they look back on it and they're like, wow, I miss being 18 or 20 or 19. So I just want to know how you think you'll balance everything, because it really is a balancing act when you play sports in college.
Oh, you're right. So I plan to. Well, first off, when I started talking to the coach, that's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I ended up going to Wheaton, was because of the coaching staff. They great guys, very prestigious, and they're probably one of the best Division III programs in the Northeast. So as soon as they brought me in, they told me what it was going to be. They said it was going to be like a job, and I was well aware of it. And I love baseball too much to give it up going to school. And so I think it's just all about work at first, and at the end of the day, you got to get the degree and see how far baseball can take me. But I'm definitely they plan really well at Wheaton for student athletes. So they're going to have to, well, they said I could balance my classes around the day, around practices, and then hopefully I'll have free time, and if I do, that's where I guess I'll balance this or mix the social life in. But I'm just happy to go there and continue to do what I like to do, you know?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Go to you.
Okay, I'll go. Ty, I got a good question for you. When you play baseball at Wheaton, do you think you'll play in the shortstop again?
So that's a thing that they had me. That's a thing that they talked about. So I was getting recruited throughout the recruiting process as a shortstop, a middle infielder, and an outfielder. So for Wheaton, they have like an all-conference shortstop playing shortstop for the first 2 years. So I probably won't end up going right into shortstop and playing. They said that first year they're going to try me as their center fielder and try and have me, cause havoc on the base paths and try and have a good batting average to start off the team. So first year I'll probably be playing center field. And then hopefully, because I love playing shortstop, I don't really want to give it up. So hopefully after the shortstop's gone, they'll give me a shot at shortstop. But if they don't, I don't mind. As long as I'm on the field, I don't mind playing anywhere. So.
It's a beautiful ball field. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it is.
That's
another thing. That field is one of the. That's a huge reason why I chose that field, or chose that school. The field is unmatched, and they take really good care of it.
Oh, it's manicured, unbelievable. If you ever go by it, I've umpired theirs years ago where they used to do Babe Ruth. Norton used to let Norton do, when we used to cover Norton. They used to do their their town championship or the Hockomock championship. They used to let us go on the field. It was absolutely it was beautiful.
Yeah, have you
beautiful
been there recently?
I know, this was a while ago too. I can just imagine how much they upgraded.
They just put in new dugouts. I'm pretty sure they did the warning tracks over again.
Oh wow!
I think they reseeded too, so it's way better. It's like manicured since the last time.
Oh, that's. So I know you touched about track and field and all that, and so you, just to let people know, you were on the track and field team at Taunton High, correct?
Yes.
And if you can just elaborate on that and why track and field and how that might help you. You know what? Actually, let's go back to that because we're about to take our second break, and we can still hold on to you, right?
Yes, you can.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to take our second break. Now we have the privilege of having Ty Cali, 2019, I believe. 2020.
2021 graduate, right?
Yeah, and state champion.
Yep.
So we have Ty in the line. We do have a phone line open if you want to call in when we get back at 508-222-1320 if you want to talk to Ty. We'll be back with more right after this.
Helps reduce the spread of COVID-19. Stay at least 2 meters
inside your home when someone has or thinks they have COVID-19, and outside your home in indoor or outdoor spaces when you are around people who do not live in your household. When enjoying time with others, remember to stay at least 2 meters or 6 feet away from others. Wear a mask. Wash your hands often or use hand sanitizer. And stay out of crowded places if possible. To learn more, visit cdc.gov/coronavirus. Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes. Yes. Your favorite half breakfast pastry, half all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go for. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council. Do you need help with a do-it-yourself project and don't know where to start? Eastern Supply, 40 North Main Street in downtown Attleboro, has been supporting the greater Attleboro community for over 80 years. More than just a hardware store, Paul and his family are available to help with your purchasing decisions, from plumbing to general construction, and most everything in between. Eastern Supply is open every day, and you can contact them at 508-222-1557. Eastern Supply, where together we can do it yourself.
Eiling Ty Alley from Taunton High School, and he is going to Wheaton College. Ty, are you still with us right now?
Yes, I am.
Attaboy.
All right, good.
So I know you had something you wanted to ask him during break.
Yeah, so I was just curious. I remember when my little brother was in high school, their grade got to play at Fenway. Did you guys get to play at Fenway Park? And if so, what was that experience like to play, obviously, in one of the greatest baseball stadiums in the country?
You know, we didn't get to play there, and I was so mad that we didn't get to play there. I heard it was because some people didn't want to travel across the state or whatever, like the teams that were super far away.
Yeah, because they're basically in New York.
Yeah. So we got to play on UMass Lowell's home field, which is the Red Sox, I want to say, single-A team's field, which is still cool. Like, you get to play in a pro stadium.
Yeah.
The field was, like, literal turf the entire way around, but it was, like, real clay and grass. It was unbelievable. But yeah, it was a great field. A lot of people. It reminds me of when we didn't have to wear a mask, which was good.
Better times, yeah.
Yeah, better times.
All right, we have another call for you right now, young man. We have a call in. Hi, caller, you still there?
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going? I had 2 questions for Ty.
Yes, please.
Absolutely. So the first one is, I know there was the coronavirus pandemic that's still ongoing. I know there wasn't baseball last season, but, you know, how did that impact the recruiting process, being a junior and all that?
So last season, like, the recruiting last season was hard, especially because with no high school, there's no real, like, unless you do travel ball, there's not really a way to get out there, which thankfully I did travel ball. Recruiting became a lot more virtual because Division I and Division II scouts couldn't go out and scout you. So only Division IIIs were allowed to go to the games, so you were seeing a lot of the same guys coming to your games. You know, it was a lot harder to get seen by the Division I, Division II schools. So it was really a lot of taking video and having big old cameras from your teams behind, like, the dugouts and stuff. And there's a lot of emails, let me tell you. It was a lot of emails. It wasn't fun, but it never is, but it's always satisfying when you're done. And yeah, it made it a lot harder, but it made it a lot more worth it too, because you had to go through a lot more to, inevitably get to where you want to go.
Oh, absolutely. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is, I know that another school in Taunton had closed up shop at the end of last school year. Do you think that Coyle Cassidy closing could help some of these Taunton sports programs as well, just having more kids on the teams?
Oh, absolutely. The other kid that was supposed to come in today to talk with me, who's been probably my best friend since I was like 10, he's coming over from Coyle and he's going to Wheaton too. He's a pitcher, and we're picking him up. He was their ace, and he's now becoming our ace. He's unbelievable on the mound, so we just gained one of the best pitchers, in my opinion, in Massachusetts. So it's definitely going to help our baseball team. I don't know much about like the other sports, how it's going to affect them, because I haven't really been able to keep up on them because I haven't been in school talking to my friends. So, but I definitely know how it's going to affect our baseball team, and it just made our rotation a heck of a lot better. So,
Well, caller, thank you for the call, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Thank you, Ty.
Thank you.
All right, so if you want to call in, that was a great call.
Thank you.
Well,
Appreciate it.
yeah, you're welcome. And that caller was really informative. Made some great points. But if you want to call in, to Ty at 508-222-1320. So Ty, I always ask this to all the athletes when we either have them in studio or on the phone. Let's talk about work ethic. And I know your father played college baseball, and his big thing is baseball, and you get great support from your family, your brothers, and the community, the people that actually know what type of good kid you are. Let's talk about work ethic as far as what advice can you give the kids that want to make the Taunton High team, or just try to use baseball as a tool to get into college, or one of the elite AAU teams? What's your work ethic?
Yep.
What advice can you give them?
Well, I'll start off with the fact that, as you know, because you used to umpire my little league games, and you've been there from when I was younger. I've never really been, a big, super tall kid, so I've always had to work extra hard. Like, baseball has been in my blood, obviously, so it's been something that I've always wanted to do. So it made it easier for me to put in the work. But I've never been super big, super strong, so I've always had to work twice as hard as everybody else, which, once again, I don't mind doing. But work ethic is everything, in my opinion. If you have two kids on a bubble of making a team, and one's got the raw ability, but one tries and works harder, you're obviously going to take the kid that works. So that's the way I've always thought about it, and if you don't work, you're not going to get to where you want to be.
I can't say it any more down to earth than that.
One of the sayings that they always say is you can't teach hard work, but you can teach skill. You can teach someone to be a better player, but you can't teach someone to work harder.
Exactly. You can't teach somebody to want it. So that's where I've always come from, and that's why I've put in as much work as I have, and that's where I am. That's how I've got to where I am today.
And do you think being in a team atmosphere in a baseball team, because unlike maybe you'd say basketball or some other sports like maybe football or hockey, it's more of a team atmosphere in baseball. You know what I mean? Not one guy's going to win the sport. How do you think you can bring this to your next stages of life, like what you're going to study in college or what you're going to do after the fact? You know what I mean? How can you use the team mentality you grew up playing baseball to further your own life? You know what I mean?
Yep, I got you. So I've always thought of myself as a leader, and I don't really like to. I don't want to say follow. I like to create my own path. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I've always thought of myself like that, and what I want to do after school is either like something in the business world where I get to do my own thing, or I want to coach. So that'll obviously be like coach a college team. So that'll obviously be where the team aspect will come in.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, but being on a team, it creates a how do I say it? It just makes you a better overall teammate, I guess. It wasn't the word I was originally.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You're a better overall teammate, and it makes you more able to work with people, and that's a good skill for no matter what you're going into work.
Yep. Especially when you go into college, you got a lot of people that
Exactly.
do the same stuff that are very different than you that disagree in one way or another, and push comes to shove. It helps to be a cog in a piece of a puzzle than the puzzle itself. If you know what I'm saying.
Exactly. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's you got to know. Being a part of a team means getting along with everybody and putting away your differences and making it work. And talking about the state championship run, that's exactly what we did. Like, we faced adversity in the beginning of it, and we put everything aside, and look how good of a team we became. So that's what I got on that one.
Yeah. All right.
No, that's fine. So Scott Belotis, who also helps us out with the broadcast, is listening back in Raynham, and he mentioned about how your dad played Division II for Nova in southeastern Florida, correct?
Yep.
So I think that's a good tool. Having a dad like that that knows a little bit about the game. And if you ever saw his father, he's probably one of the most kickback, easygoing people. Of course, when it comes to his kids, he wants to make sure his kids are in the right direction. But he's one of those type of guys. And Nick and who's the other one? Oh, so Nate Rollins is listening back home in Marshfield, and he says that this kid Ty Cali is a very well spoken individual, and he wishes you the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So that's coming from the sports. I'm looking
Means a lot.
at, and then Nate Rollins from Channel 7. He didn't say anything yet. He kind of picked on the Sportsmaster, because the Sportsmaster is coming from break, and he mentioned Cheryl Seavey.
Sportsmaster.
And oh yeah,
It's a nickname I came up with for myself.
I asked him to give him a nickname, so that's the one he picked.
It's clever. I like it.
Yeah, it's about 3 years
Thank
ago.
you very much, Nick.
Anytime.
So, you talked about being a leader, and I hope this doesn't sound like a repetitive question, but from a different approach. So, let's just talk about your brothers. What do you try to teach them as far as staying with this game and stuff like that? What's the big thing? They're young, they're quick, probably quicker than you now. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But what do you try to instill them to keep them? Hey, always remember this when it comes to ball. What's the first thing that you try to tell them?
So they're young right now, so they're kind of realizing that they gotta love it. They're hardworking kids, and when they want to put their mind to something, they'll do it. That's what I try and let them know. Like, you have to. Once again, they're short. They're not super small kids. Like, they're not super strong kids, so they kind of have to do it the same way I do. They kind of have to put in the work if they want to do it, and I keep telling them that. If they want to stay inside and play video games all day, like, they're not going to get better,
True.
So they got to put in the work every day if they want to inevitably be where I am, And they say that they want to go to college and play baseball, but they can't do that if they're not putting in the work. So that's what I tell them. That's the main thing I instill in their brains.
There you go. That's a good big brother.
Yeah.
So we talked about before the break. I was mumbling on, and I was trying to mumble out cross country for Taunton High School, which you're on. So let's talk about that a little bit, about how that could probably help you at least with stamina when it came to baseball. Could you just touch on that?
Sure. So the thing that stinks about all that is when it's a good thing that it created stamina, but it also made me a better long distance runner.
Right.
So it was harder for me to. I had to do a lot of speed stuff to get my explosiveness back, which stinks because it's really polar opposites when you talk about cross country and then going into baseball, because my game is based on speed when I play. So I have to be explosive, and I have to be fast, and I have to steal bases. So I really have to, switch gears after cross country ends, which I do pretty well, I think. But it stinks. But I love running. I love being a part of the team, and I love the competitiveness that sport brings. So that's why I love it so much. So I'm just a really competitive person, and anything that I can do to compete, that's why I like sports so much, is because it gives me a place to show everybody that I'm competitive,
Yeah, absolutely. So we're about to wrap up, Ty. We got to get with the scores. We got to get the scores out there from Friday night and some program things we got going on. But I wanted to thank you for filling in last minute. Danny definitely
problem.
owes you a bit, a kid's meal at
Yeah,
McDonald's.
a 2 for $6 or something.
2 for $6. I
Yeah.
like that. Well, they got the 2
I'll
for
text
$5.
him and say that you told him so.
There you go. Hey, so if I don't see you around the ball field umpiring, or I know I probably won't before you go to college. I just want to wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And all of us are here at 4 Deep Sports Talk and the station WARA 1320 AM. Again, would like to wish you the best in anything you do. You're heading in the right direction. And it was, again, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me on.
You got it. All right,
Have a
so
good one, guys.
you too.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. All right, so that was Ty Callie on his way to Wheaton College right down the road on his baseball scholarship. So we're going to take our last break. We're going to come back with the scores, Nick, myself, and, of course, Justin Furr, the Sportsmaster. We'll be back with more right after this. Hey, welcome back. You are listening to 4 Deep Sports Talk here on the new station, 1320 AM WARA, and online, all one word, 4deepsportstalk.com. I'm Dominic Damiano, joined by Nick Lokovich, the Sportsmaster Justin Ferber. Alex Mayo is out doing the producing right outside the studio, out in the conference room. Waiting area, conference room, if you will, more like a waiting area.
Yeah.
Catherine Conley is working today. This is the part I screwed up. She will be back with us hopefully next Saturday. Luz Cabral is taking care of her mom. And, Mom, I am so sorry. Thank you for listening to the whole show.
I missed the shout out.
I missed the shout. I blew it. I blew it big time. So I want to say, Mom, I hope you're doing well. I know your daughter and your son-in-law are doing a great job taking care of you. I hope the flowers didn't die yet. The get well flowers. I hope they're probably dead now, but I hopefully it was still in a good vase. So with that being said, again, we want to thank Cheryl Seavey and Cheryl Seavey first for her 100th win and taking a Saturday last minute to come on the show and talk about, the little things that make her tick in her mindset. And, of course, Ty Callie from Taunton High School, state champion, on his way to Wheaton College. With that being said, we're going to fire up. We're going to have the Sportsmaster give us some scores as we get his music cranked up and make sure he's ready to go.
Yep, I'm all set and I'm ready.
All right, so he's ready. Here's Justin Ferreira, the sportsmaster, followed by Nick Lockovich with the scores from Friday night.
Okay, so we're in boys basketball. In Bay State, Needham versus Braintree has been postponed. Wesley 60, Walpole 59. In Capes Islands, Sandwich 70, Dennis Yarmouth 47. Nauset versus Falmouth has been postponed, as well as Monomoy versus Sturgis East. That's been postponed. St. John Paul II, 46. Rising Tide Carter 32. In Catholic Central, Austin Prep 72. St. Mary's 60. Archbishop Williams 70. Bishop Freeham 54. Artling Catholic 38, Cathedral 34, Cardinal Spellman 64, Bishop Stang 53. In the Catholic Conference, Catholic Memorial 72, St. John Shrewsbury 62, and Mayflower, Westport 57, South Shore Voctech 47, Bishop Conley 92, Hallbrook 60, South Shore Christian versus West Bridgewater has been postponed. In Patriot, Plymouth North 64, Duxbury 53, Hanover 47, North Quincy 37, Hanson 69, Hingham 57, Marshfield 67, Silver Lake 53, Plymouth South 60, Pembroke 50, Scituate 60, Quincy 38, and South Coast Fairhaven 61, Seekonk 59, Apponequet 71, Wareham 60, Case 72, Bourne 55, Dayton Rehoboth 69, Somerset Berkeley 57, Greater New Bedford 72, Old Rochester 51, and South Shore Hull versus Abington has been postponed. Middleborough 74, Caviar 64. Now, Randolph versus Rockland is scheduled for tonight at 6:30 p.m. Norwell versus East Bridgewater has been postponed. In Southeast Brockton 64, Bridgewater Rams 53, Durfee 73, Dartmouth 45. In Tri-Valley, Medfield versus Hawkington has been postponed. Norwood 68, Westwood 58, Holliston 54, Ashland 45, Holliston 54, Ashland 45, Denham 69, Midway 44, Dover Sherborne 70, Bellingham 40, and Norton 72, Middlesex 49.
There you go. And now, I get my mic on. And now here is Nick Lockovich with the girls' scores and the remaining results.
Yeah, so I got the girls' basketball and a little bit of hockey here. In the Bay State Division, Braintree Needham was postponed. Walpole beat Wellesley 41-38. Newton North beat Natick 47-36. In the Cape and Islands Division, Monomoy and Sturgis East was postponed. St. John's and Rising Tide Charter was postponed. Sandwich beat Dennis Yarmouth 52-34. And Falmouth Nauset was postponed. In the Central Catholic Division, St. Mary's beat Austin Prep 77-29. Cathedral beat Arlington Catholic 49-37. Bishop Stang beat Cardinal Spellman 51-25. And Bishop Fian beat Archbishop Williams 61-47. In the Catholic Conference, Madeline Catholic beat Ursuline 47-30. In the Mayflower Division, Bishop Conley beat Holbrook 38-26. Avon and West Bridgewater's postponed, and Westport beat South Shore Voc Tech 41-20. In the Patriot League, Marshfield beat Silver Lake 58-48. Situate beat Quincy 58-27. Pembroke beat Plymouth South 51-25, and Plymouth North and Duxbury are postponed. North Quincy beat Hanover 57-51, and Whitman-Hanson beat Hingham 54-42. In the South Coast Division, Apponequet beat Wareham 61-12. Case beat Bourne 65-27. Seekonk beat Fairhaven 52-32. Old Rochester beat Greater New Bedford 50-16. Somerset Berkeley beat Dighton Rehoboth 45-39. In the South Shore Division, Rockland beat Randolph 68-19. Bridgewater Raynham beat Brockton 66-42. In the Tri-Valley Division, Hopkins and Medfield is postponed. Ashland beat Holliston 39-38. Millis beat Norton 44-35. Dedham Medway postponed. Dover Sherborne beat Bellingham 51-16. And Hopkinton beat Dedham 56-37. In boys hockey, Austin Prep beat Bishop Feehan 5-2. In the Catholic Conference, also Catholic Memorial and Xaverians postponed. And the Hockomock Canton beat Oliver Ames 9-1. Foxborough North Attleboro has been postponed. And in the Patriot Division, Plymouth South beat Quincy 7-1. Marshfield beat Silver Lake 2-1. Situate beat Whitman-Hanson 4-0. And in girls hockey in the Cape and Islands, Sandwich beat Barnstable 2-1. And in girls Catholic Hockey League, Central Catholic, Bishop Feehan and Austin Prep is postponed.
And one more score coming in. Attleboro's boys basketball is up 63-47, 6:03 left in the game.
Looks like they got a good handle on it.
Yeah. So with that being said, we'll turn this down for Nick Lokovich, Justin Ferrer. I'm Dominic Damiano. We hope you enjoyed this hour of 4 Deep Sports Talk. As we finally wrap it up, we got the scores in. We will catch you Tuesday night on our Facebook page as we give you the visiting New Bedford Whalers come in and take on Bridgewater Raynham. We will catch you next time. Everyone have a fantastic weekend.